Have you ever found yourself looking at someone else's life and wondering why they seem to be so far ahead while you feel left behind? Maybe it's a friend who seems to have everything together: career, family, confidence, success, while you are still struggling to take the next step. Maybe it's someone on social media whose life looks picture perfect with endless opportunities, travel, and recognition. In those quiet moments, comparison sneaks in and whispers lies. You're not good enough. You're not moving fast enough. You'll never measure up. But I want you to pause and let this truth sink deep into your heart. Your life has its own unique path, its own timing, and its own season to bloom. The flower does not compete with the tree beside it. The rose does not envy the sunflower. Each grows, blossoms, and shines at its appointed time, and so will you. Comparison is one of the greatest thieves of joy. It robs you of the ability to appreciate the beauty of your own journey. It blinds you to the progress you've already made and the gifts that are already within you. When you compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. You don't know the sacrifices they made, the nights they cried, or the setbacks they endured. You only see the highlight reel, not the behind-the-scenes battles. But the truth is, your story is just as valuable. Your pace is just as valid. Your journey is not late, and you are not behind. You are right where you need to be for the lessons you are meant to learn now. Instead of measuring your worth against someone else's success, learn to honor your own growth. Celebrate the small victories, the quiet breakthroughs, the steps no one else may notice but you know took courage. Did you get up today when it would have been easier to stay down? Applaud yourself. Did you make even a little progress toward your dream? That matters. Did you resist the urge to give up when life felt heavy? That is strength. Too often we wait for others to clap for us, to validate us, to confirm our worth. But the power lies in learning to clap for yourself, to recognize the greatness within you even when the world is silent. Every step forward, no matter how small, is still a step toward becoming the person you were meant to be. But here is another truth we cannot ignore. Growth doesn't happen by accident. Flowers don't bloom by chance. They bloom because they were nurtured, watered, and exposed to the light. In the same way, your life will not flourish unless you are willing to invest in yourself. Too many people wait for permission. They wait for the right opportunity, the perfect timing, or someone else to open a door. But what if the real permission you are waiting for is your own? What if the opportunity begins the moment you decide to take action? The world will not hand you your dream neatly wrapped with a bow. You must build it. You must prepare for it. You must choose discipline over distraction, patience over instant gratification, and growth over comfort. Investing in yourself means committing to your own development every single day, not once in a while, not only when it feels convenient, but consistently, like tending to a garden. That investment is not limited to books or degrees or skills, though those are valuable. It also includes cultivating your character, strengthening your emotional resilience, and nurturing your spiritual life. Because true success is not just about what you achieve, but about who you become in the process. Knowledge can make you skilled, but wisdom will make you grounded. Wealth can fill your hands, but integrity will fill your soul. Achievement can win applause, but character will earn respect. Think of the people you admire most. It is not just their talents or their accomplishments that inspire you. It is their depth, their authenticity, their ability to remain kind, disciplined, and faithful even when life tested them. That kind of strength doesn't come overnight. It comes from the daily choice to keep growing even when no one is watching. So how do you begin? You begin by taking ownership of your life today. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Stop waiting for someone else to validate your dream. They may never understand it. Stop waiting until you feel ready. You may never feel ready. The key is to start where you are, with what you have, and let the journey itself shape you. Start by building discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your vision and your reality. It is what turns intentions into action and dreams into results. Discipline means showing up for yourself every day, even when motivation fades. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes with emotion. But discipline is steady, unshaken, and committed. When you practice discipline, you are telling yourself, my future matters more than my momentary comfort. My growth matters more than my excuses. And over time, discipline will become the foundation of your success. Alongside discipline, embrace patience. Growth takes time. Seeds do not sprout overnight, and dreams do not manifest instantly. Patience is not about waiting passively. It is about waiting with faith while continuing to work diligently. It is trusting that the process is shaping you even when you cannot yet see the results. It is believing that delays are not denials, and setbacks are not the end of the story. Some of the most beautiful chapters of your life will only unfold after seasons of waiting, refining, and preparing. And above all, never stop learning. Life itself is a classroom, and every experience carries a lesson. Learn from your failures as much as your successes. Learn from the people you admire, but also from the mistakes of others. Learn to listen, to observe, to grow wiser with each day. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. But the more you learn, the more prepared you are for the opportunities that will come your way. Remember this: true development is not just external, it is internal. You may gain knowledge, but if your character is weak, that knowledge will not sustain you. You may achieve success, but if your emotions control you, that success will crumble. You may build wealth, but if your spirit is empty, you will never feel fulfilled. That is why personal growth must include not only your mind, but also your heart and your soul. Nurture your inner life with the same dedication you give to your outer pursuits. Feed your faith, strengthen your values, align your actions with your principles, because the greatest investment you will ever make is not in possessions or status, but in becoming the best version of yourself. So I ask you today, will you continue to live in comparison, always measuring yourself against others, or will you embrace the unique journey that belongs only to you? Will you waste time waiting for permission, or will you begin to invest in yourself now with courage and intention? Your life is not meant to be a copy of someone else's. It is meant to be a masterpiece that only you can create. The world doesn't need another imitation. It needs your authentic contribution. And that contribution will only come alive when you stop competing with others and start competing with yourself, striving every day to be better than you were yesterday. One step at a time, one lesson at a time, one victory at a time. Do not underestimate the power of small beginnings. Greatness is built in the shadows long before it is revealed in the spotlight. Every seed planted in discipline, patience, and learning will eventually grow into something far greater than you can imagine. And when your season to bloom arrives, the world will see the beauty of what you have been cultivating all along. So today, make the decision to stop comparing, to stop waiting, and to start building. Celebrate your journey, clap for yourself, invest in your growth, and never forget, the life you dream of is not given, it is grown. And you have everything within you right now to begin. And as you begin to celebrate your own journey, another trap you must learn to avoid is the endless pursuit of human approval. How many times have you hesitated to take a step forward because you worried about what others might think? How often have you doubted your worth because someone failed to notice your effort or dismissed your progress with a careless word? The truth is, the applause of people is as fleeting as the wind. It comes today and is gone tomorrow. One moment they may cheer for you. The next moment they may criticize you. And if your value is built on their shifting opinions, your heart will forever be tossed back and forth like a ship without an anchor. You were not created to live as a prisoner to the opinions of others. When you let the approval or criticism of people dictate your worth, you hand over the keys to your freedom. You allow strangers, peers, even loved ones to hold power over your spirit. And when they withhold recognition, you crumble. But listen carefully. Your true value has never been defined by applause. You were created with purpose and meaning from the very beginning. Before a single word of praise or criticism was spoken over you, you already carried inherent worth. That worth comes from within, from the design of your life, from the destiny planted deep inside your soul. Imagine a diamond lying unnoticed in the earth. For years it may go unseen, trampled upon, overlooked. But its value does not diminish because no one recognizes it. It remains precious, waiting to be discovered, refined, and revealed. And so it is with you. Whether others see your brilliance or not, your worth remains unshaken. Recognition is a gift, not a necessity. When it comes, accept it with humility. When it doesn't, continue to walk forward with confidence, knowing that you are already enough. Instead of living for validation, live from conviction. Conviction comes from within. It is the steady fire that tells you who you are, why you're here, and what you are capable of becoming. Conviction does not waver with the crowd. It stands strong when others doubt you, when opportunities are delayed, when criticism stings. Conviction whispers, "Keep going, your path matters, your purpose is real." And when you live from conviction rather than approval, you are no longer a prisoner, you are free. But how do you build such inner strength in a noisy world? How do you remain grounded when voices around you grow louder each day, demanding your attention, shaping your focus, trying to tell you who you should be? The answer is found in silence. In the stillness that most people run away from, there lies a rare kind of power. It is in silence that your thoughts begin to untangle, that your heart finds clarity, and your soul reconnects to its source. Silence is not emptiness, it is fullness. It is the space where distractions fade and direction becomes clear. It is where you stop listening to the noise outside and begin listening to the wisdom within. The greatest breakthroughs often come not in chaos, but in quiet moments when you finally slow down enough to hear the truth that has been waiting all along. Some fear silence because it forces them to confront themselves, their doubts, their hidden wounds. But silence is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It shows you where healing is needed, where strength must be built, and where your focus should truly lie. And once you find clarity in the silence, the next step is discipline. For without discipline, clarity remains only a dream. Discipline is the bridge between knowing and becoming, between wishing and doing. Motivation may inspire you for a moment, but discipline sustains you for a lifetime. Motivation is like a spark. It flares brightly, but fades quickly. Discipline is the steady flame that burns long after the spark is gone. It is discipline that gets you out of bed when you feel tired. It is discipline that keeps you working when distractions call your name. It is discipline that allows dreams to survive the test of time. The world is filled with people who started with passion, but stopped when the excitement wore off. But those who achieve greatness are the ones who learn to keep going, not because they always felt like it, but because they were committed. Commitment fueled by discipline is unstoppable. It is the daily choice to say, "I will do what I must today, even if I don't feel like it, because I know who I am becoming tomorrow." And make no mistake, discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. At first it may feel restrictive, as though you are forcing yourself into routines and rules. But in time, discipline opens doors you never imagined possible. It frees you from the chains of procrastination, from the weight of regret, from the pain of wasted potential. Discipline creates consistency, and consistency creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. When you combine the strength of silence with the power of discipline, you unlock something extraordinary. Silence gives you vision. Discipline brings that vision into reality. Silence shows you where to go. Discipline keeps you walking even when the path is steep. Silence reminds you of who you are. Discipline shapes you into who you are meant to be. Together, they form a partnership that will carry you through seasons of doubt, temptation, and difficulty. So let me ask you, are you living for recognition, or are you living for purpose? Are you running from silence, filling every moment with noise and distraction, or are you willing to sit still and listen to the voice within? Are you relying on fleeting bursts of motivation, or are you building the unshakable foundation of discipline? Your life will not be defined by the applause you receive or the criticism you endure. It will be defined by the strength of your conviction, the clarity you gain in silence, and the consistency of your discipline. If you can learn these three, conviction, silence, and discipline, you will no longer be swayed by the shifting winds of others' opinions. You will stand tall, steady, and unshakable, no matter what storms arise. And here is the beauty of it all. When you stop chasing recognition, when you find clarity in silence, when you practice the steady rhythm of discipline, you will not only transform your own life, but you will inspire others without even trying. People are drawn to authenticity, to quiet strength, to those who live with purpose rather than performance. Without seeking applause, you will receive respect. Without demanding recognition, you will gain influence. Without chasing validation, you will walk in freedom. So today, make the choice to turn inward. Applaud yourself, not because others approve, but because you know your worth. Seek silence, not because the world tells you to, but because your soul longs for clarity. Practice discipline, not because you always feel like it, but because you believe in the person you are becoming. Your worth is not up for debate. Your journey is not measured by likes, comments, or applause. Your destiny is not controlled by criticism or doubt. You are already valuable. You are already enough. And when you live with that conviction, when you anchor yourself in silence, when you strengthen yourself through discipline, you will walk with a confidence the world cannot give and cannot take away. So, step forward boldly. Not for recognition, not for applause, but for purpose, for growth, for the life you were created to live. As you walk forward with conviction, silence, and discipline, there comes yet another crossroads you must face. The people you allow to walk beside you. Not everyone who begins the journey with you is meant to reach the destination with you. Some relationships, no matter how familiar or comfortable, are not aligned with your growth. And if you cling too tightly to those who drain your spirit, you will carry weights you were never meant to bear. Letting go is not always easy. We are human. We crave connection, we value loyalty, and we often fear loneliness more than pain. But here is the truth. Loyalty to your own soul and to your future is more important than loyalty to relationships that harm you. There are people who push you forward, who celebrate your growth, who inspire you to become better. And then there are those who pull you down, who cloud your mind with negativity, who bruise your spirit with envy, manipulation, or constant chaos. You cannot rise while holding on to what is determined to pull you under. Toxic relationships come in many forms. Sometimes they are loud and obvious, filled with anger, drama, and control. Other times they are quiet but just as destructive. Friends who subtly belittle your dreams, partners who only support you when it benefits them, acquaintances who pretend to cheer for you but secretly root for your failure. And if you are honest, you can feel it deep inside when a relationship is poisoning your soul. You feel the heaviness after every interaction. You feel the confusion, the self-doubt, the exhaustion. That is your spirit's way of telling you, this is not love, this is not growth, this is not the company you were meant to keep. Releasing toxic relationships is not an act of cruelty, it is an act of courage. It is saying, I choose my healing over my habit. I choose my future over my fear. I choose to protect my heart rather than sacrifice it for someone who does not value it. And though the letting go may hurt, the freedom that follows will heal. Because every time you close the door on something harmful, you open space for something good. Life has a way of replacing what you release with what you need. Healthier friendships, stronger partnerships, deeper connections. But you will never discover them if your hands are still clinging to what no longer serves you. So do not be afraid to walk away from what is toxic. Do not be afraid to redefine what loyalty really means. True loyalty is not staying bound to those who wound you. It is staying faithful to your own purpose, your own growth, your own destiny. If someone cannot walk with you in peace, they cannot walk with you at all. And sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for them and for yourself is to let them go. Once you release the toxic, the next step is to guard what is most precious, your peace. Peace is not weakness, it is strength. It is not passivity, it is power. Peace is the foundation upon which clarity, focus, and growth are built. Without peace, your mind becomes cluttered, your heart becomes heavy, and your energy becomes scattered. But with peace, you gain stability, vision, and strength to move forward with confidence. Not everyone deserves access to your peace. Not everyone deserves a place in your heart or in your mind. Just as you would lock the doors of your home to protect what is valuable inside, you must set boundaries to protect the sanctuary of your inner world. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. And gates are designed to let in what is good while keeping out what is harmful. When you learn to say no to chaos, you say yes to clarity. When you step away from gossip, envy, and negativity, you create space for gratitude, growth, and joy. Protecting your peace may mean distancing yourself from conversations that drain you, environments that unsettle you, or relationships that constantly stir conflict. It may mean turning down invitations, refusing to engage in arguments, or even choosing solitude over shallow company. And that is not selfish, it is wise. Because you cannot grow in soil poisoned by chaos. Your peace is your power. It is what keeps you calm when storms rage around you. It is what allows you to think clearly when others panic. It is what gives you strength to rise above distractions and stay focused on your path. Do not underestimate it. Do not surrender it easily. Protect it fiercely, for it will carry you farther than applause, recognition, or temporary pleasure ever could. And when your peace is secure, your energy becomes unshakable. Energy is one of your most valuable resources. It is the force that drives your dreams, fuels your creativity, and sustains your progress. But energy, like money, can be spent wisely or wasted carelessly. If you allow toxic people, endless drama, or constant negativity to consume your energy, you will find yourself depleted before you ever reach your destination. But if you guard your energy, directing it toward your purpose, your discipline, and your growth, you will accomplish more than you ever imagined. So I urge you, be intentional about where your energy goes. Not everyone deserves your time. Not every battle deserves your fight. Not every voice deserves your attention. Reserve your energy for the things that matter most. The dreams you are building, the people who uplift you, the values you stand for, the peace you are protecting. Everything else is noise. Everything else is distraction. And when you learn to let go of the unnecessary, you will have more strength to focus on the extraordinary. And now, as we bring this journey together, let us remember all that has been spoken. Do not compare yourself to others, for your journey is uniquely yours. Celebrate your steps, clap for yourself, and invest in your own growth with discipline, patience, and wisdom. Do not live as a prisoner to the approval of others, for your worth was written within you from the beginning. Seek silence for clarity, embrace discipline for transformation, and anchor yourself in conviction that cannot be shaken. Release what is toxic, guard what is peaceful, and protect the precious energy that fuels your life. This is not just motivation, it is a way of living. A way of choosing every day to rise above the noise, the pressure, the expectations, and the distractions of the world. A way of becoming the best version of yourself, not for recognition, not for applause, but because you were created with a purpose, and that purpose deserves your full commitment. And so, I leave you with this. You have everything you need to live with strength, with peace, with clarity, and with purpose. You do not need to wait for someone else to give you permission. You do not need to compare yourself to someone else's progress. You do not need to hold on to relationships that hurt you or environments that drain you. You are free to choose differently. You are free to rise. You are free to become who you were meant to be. The question is not whether you can. The question is whether you will. Will you let go of comparison, of toxic ties, of the endless chase for approval? Will you embrace silence, discipline, peace, and purpose? Will you step into the life waiting for you on the other side of fear, distraction, and doubt? The choice is yours, and the time is now. Walk forward with courage. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward with clarity and with peace. Because your best life is not behind you. It is ahead of you, waiting to unfold as you take each step with intention. And as you do, you will discover that the greatest victory is not in being admired by others, but in becoming at peace with yourself, in fulfilling the purpose you were born to live, and in knowing deep within that you chose the path of growth, truth, and freedom. This is your life. Guard it well, invest in it fully, live it boldly, and never forget, you are enough, you are capable, and you are worthy. Not because of what others say, but because of who you already are.